Hi, I'm Bonnie Browning with the American Quilter Society, and I'm here with Janet Stone from Overland Park, Kansas. Janet won our Best Machine Quilting Award. Now, I know that Janet's name might be familiar to many of you because she likes to use alphabets.
I do.
Tell us about that.
Well, I made my first alphabet quilt in 2008, and ever since I made that one, I just decided I was going to make 26 of them, thinking I could just whip them out in a matter of years, but it hasn't happened that way, but they're still coming. This one is number 14.
Well, this one's a little bit unique because you left one letter out.
I did.
So why did you do that?
Well, it's called No L because it doesn't have an L in it. The name kind of came to me before the quilt. I had intended to make it just a little bit more Christmas-like. I'm not sure that I accomplished that, but there is no L in it, and it has a little bit of Christmas touch to it. But yeah, that's how that came about.
Well, I got the idea right off when it said no L, and I thought this must be a Christmas quilt.
Yeah, good.
So I bet others will too.
Good.
Okay, so tell us how you constructed it.
Well, a couple of the parts here are machine or paper pieced, and then because I'm a little bit afraid of curve piecing, I actually appliqued. These all went together just one on top of the other, and then I actually appliqued these sections onto the background fabric. And
you did a lot of couching of some different
I did,
threads,
yeah.
too,
I like
you?
to do that. This is a Krynik. It's actually a needlepoint thread that I couch down. I believe I either do it by machine or by hand. I think I did both of those by machine, just depending on the application. The black is a crochet cotton.
And I noticed that you can see the thread pretty well on your machine applique. What thread did you use to do that?
I believe that was Glide. It's a 40 weight polyester. My machine really likes it a lot. It's got a nice sheen to it. I use a blanket stitch for my Bernina, which I just love. But yeah, I like that. I like the little bit of sheen that it gives it, the thread.
Well, and I have to tell you, I was impressed at how round you were able to make these circles that go around.
Oh, well, they were only just like, you only had to get this part round, and then once it all together, it sort of made the illusion of, yeah, getting round.
But you know, they still sort of have to look like they're going to meet.
Yeah, that's true, yeah. Well, I marked it in the spots that it was supposed to be in, so.
Well, you know, people always want to know how long does it take to make a quilt like
I know,
this.
they do want to know that, don't they?
Yeah, you know how many 30 years plus, right?
This one, normally it takes me about 6 months from start to finish. This one took actually 7 months and 7 days to finish. It took a little bit longer. I was dragging my feet a lot on it because I had some issues with it, but it was just a little over 7 months.
And so what kind of an issue would you have putting a quilt together?
You think I'm going to tell?
We're trying to learn your secrets here of how you resolved it.
I had some issues with like bulk, like a lot of seams coming up in the same spot, so I actually clipped the seams, so one went one way and one went another way, which was fine when I had the top, but then when I started quilting that sort of showed up. So I actually had to go back and block individually these letters. Like I'd put it on my table and wet it down and just block the individual letters so that would all stay straight.
Okay, you know, that brings up another question that I know a lot of people always don't really either know how to do it or don't do it, and that is, do you block your quilts
all
when
the time.
Get them finished?
Every time,
and
yes.
So tell us how that's done.
Very hard. I do it on the floor. I wet it all out. I never wash the quilts, put them in a washing machine. I just wet it, completely wet it, and then lay it on the floor and then pin it out and measure and measure and measure. And
using your rulers and your right angles.
And tape measures, and yeah. I'm kind of getting too old. Eventually I think I'm going to have to devise something on the top of the dining room table, but until then I'm doing it on the floor. But it does make a heck of a difference. And so are you pinning to your carpet?
Yes. Because that's what I do.
Yeah,
pin right
that's exactly what I do.
You know those big long yellow quilt pins?
Yes.
They're perfect for that.
Well, I use T-pins like they use in upholstery, so yeah, it works great, and I block every one of them. And sometimes when they go to a show and they've been folded up and I bring them back home, I reblock them again on my design wall. It's a lot easier. You can just kind of pin them to wet it down and pin it to the design wall once it's been initially blocked. So yeah.
Well, so now that's a little secret that you heard from one of our big winners here at AQS QuiltWeek in Des Moines, and we hope that you'll enter so that maybe next year you could be standing right here talking to me.
That's right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.